Hello and welcome to the top of the slag pile. It's like the Tooth Fairy but in podcast form, so go on. Give us all your lovely teeth. And with me tonight, Eric Cabbage and Will Brown.
You can take all of my teeth. That was.
I'm not going to script them anymore. I'm just going to let that happen.
I prefer it. It's
that was the best one.
Easily. Yeah.
I'm now scared for my dental hygiene. I feel like you're going to steal my teeth at any moment.
It's me, the listeners. It's all our listeners out there. I think we should start asking for teeth.
Yeah, one tooth per cast.
As many as they're willing to give. If someone wants to give their full mouth after listening to episode 2, then fuck them.
Wow.
Well, I was thinking about setting up a Patreon for this. So, I mean, I've not looked into it, but I assume there's an option for submitting teeth.
Yeah, you can refine them into small piano keys.
Is that what we're going to do with all the teeth that we collect? We're going to turn them into a tiny tooth piano.
Make a little human tooth piano.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not terrifying at all. Thank you very much for that.
It'll be just in time for Christmas, and we'll do a little Christmas song on it.
Oh, it'd be a grubby one as well, though, with British tea-stained teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes your finger will go through a key because there's just a cavity there, and the NHS is really hard to get onto for dental. Probably be a child's as well, yeah.
We'll sell it to a dentist office. There's an advert for all the kids as to what can happen if you eat too many sweets. The slags will come and steal your teeth, kiddies. They'll turn them into a piano.
No. This is consensual giving of teeth, okay? And
mine wasn't.
Not just. In fact, let's not say kids. That's not. I regret bringing that into it.
I'm sorry.
But imagine going to a dentist office, and just there in front of you is a weird tea-stained piano, and you think, "What's this?" And the receptionist goes, "That's the human tooth piano."
Have a tinkle.
Every Christmas we play a little ditty.
How long before you just leave?
It takes a long time to get on the registers nowadays, so I'd probably stick it out.
I think I probably would. It's been ages since I've been allowed into a dentist's.
Yeah, me too.
Being allowed in or gone? Why being allowed in? That was an interesting choice of words. What happened in your last dentist appointment, Eric?
Well, they don't let you in before you're on the books, do they?
Oh, I thought you just meant like
you can try, but they just.
I thought you meant that last time you went in, something bad happened and you've not been allowed to go back.
Something bad did happen last time I went in. They were incredibly aggressive with me.
What happened? Please tell the story. And even if they weren't, pretend they were and tell us.
Well, you know how everything in the Midlands is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
well, I went to the dentist there once after 2 years of living there and eventually being able to see a dentist, and it was horrible. It was in COVID time, so everyone was wearing masks, apart from me, obviously, because I was having my teeth looked at. But she had like a big mask, like a painter decorator mask, like a Darth Vader mask.
Yeah, okay. it had the valves and everything.
It had the valves and everything.
Okay, I'm thinking like Fallout New Vegas kind of vibes.
Yeah.
So there was that, and like not her fault, but that combined with an accent. Had no idea what she was on about most of the time. But also, when you're at the dentist, they ask you questions with their hands in your mouth, and but very much just sort of grabbed my head with one hand and then scrapes at my gums with the other.
Oh,
I've never had so much pain at the dentist's than then. And I had braces for several years, so I did my fair share of trips to the dentist, and that was the worst. I was bleeding quite a lot, and they were just like, just suck that out, that's fine, just.
I see why you didn't go back. Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm shit scared of the dentist because I've never had anything done. They've always basically opened up, they've named the teeth, they've been like 4B, 2F, Larry, and then...
Well, this was just the routine cleaning thing at the end. Just a little bit of a bit of a scrape with the hook.
They've done a bit of the flick and stuff, yeah. And then
that was it.
They just say, right, there you go, floss more, if at all.
Yeah.
Do some flossing, please. See you in 6 months. Never went back. Now I'm fucking terrified. I've never had any issues with them. Never braces, anything like that. Just
they've always been lovely every time, but
they seem to be okay. But one day they won't be, and I'm terrified.
The last time I went to the dentist, I was having a lot of tooth pain because my wisdom teeth looked like they were coming in. I could feel them. I was like, ooh, it's not too great. So I went in and I talked to them, and they were like looking at everything. I go, I'm having a bit of pain because of these, and they go. And I say, I think they're coming in and it hurts. And they look at them and they go, yeah, they are. And I go, oh, so is there anything like, do I need to do anything? Is there anything I can do? They go, No, just they're coming through. If they start coming through the side of your face, basically come back. I'm like, oh, that's really helpful. Thank you very much. I feel so enlightened as to, if there was a real medical emergency or you could do anything for me at all.
Yeah, come back when it's an emergency.
Pretty much. And I'm sat there going, oh. To be honest with you, now actually, I've found that if I don't eat anything for about 13, 14 hours, my teeth just start to hurt, like where the wisdom teeth are. And I feel like I should probably go to the dentist for that, but I feel like they're going to do the exact same thing as they said last time, and they're going to go, well, just keep chewing. You'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. Just because if you explain it to them and you say, if it's been a while since I've eaten, it hurts, I'd just eat more regularly then.
Yeah.
I think that would solve that, wouldn't it? And then look at you like you're an idiot for just not acting on your own information.
Exactly, but it's just a quick way to get really fat.
There are quicker ways. There are quicker ways. But I like the fact that that is their purpose. It's like going to the prophet of the Eldritch Truth and being like, "Good sir, we have heard the rapture is coming. What can we do about it?" And he's like, "Yeah, but it's on Tuesday, so we got time. See it."
Just
deal with it.
I'll just
come back on Tuesday. We'll figure it out then.
If you can manage to get here on Monday evening, you'll be fine.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Exactly. Until that point, I can't do anything.
Dentistry and Eldritch Prophecy. It's interchangeable, really.
Strangely linked. Really shouldn't be.
You wouldn't think so.
No, not at all.
It's a funny old world, though, isn't it?
I think that's where an interlude will go.
I can hear the jazz right now.
Oh, I love those interludes.
I think us talking about the interlude is going to be the bit that goes over the interlude.
Yeah, just to stop me from, stepping into the void. I just need the elevator music there. Keeps me on.
The void.
It keeps the void away. And the bad thoughts and the murder. Sorry. And the tiny piano made of teeth.
I might try using that now. I hate going to airports. I find them offensive to the senses. But I'm going to Manchester on Saturday. I might just try listening to the elevator music on a loop and see if it has that desired calming effect.
I think it would.
See if I can get through it.
I like the idea of like a peep show point of view thing from you, and you just see B like looking up at you and talking to you and like trying to communicate. But you're just kind of like nodding along, and all you can hear is Muzak, and just walking around, sort of trying to be happy. You occasionally see something else, like something gets through the headphones, like a trolley going past, and you're sort of like, oh, and then it just goes back and it goes away, and you're still happy again. I think that'd be quite nice.
Oh, please get me a GoPro view of that, and just intercut occasionally with B being very kind and
distressed
and trying to talk to you, and you just being blissfully ignorant and unaware of all of the things going around you.
B getting increasing irate throughout their entire time over there.
Yeah.
Like he's doing it the entire time.
More angry, more dishevelled, the world slowly ending around him. Like there's a man that's just tried to take a bomb through the security. Eric's just got little Spanish flea playing in his head.
On the plane back, you can just sort of see Eric sitting there, the music's still playing, but you can see B on a seat just way in front. She's given up. Absolutely not.
This man's a lost cause. I'm glad he's
still
happy.
Just nodding along.
Just wandering out the airport like Bill Bailey as he wanders out the hospital with a little book of calm, just hair flowing behind me as well as my robe.
You have assimilated the Muzak. I am become the elevator.
And I just glide everywhere on Heelys.
I never had.
The
Did you ever have Heelys as a kid?
I've never had Heelys.
I think I kind of missed
Jinx,
Heelys.
all of you. None of us had Heelys. Oh, I really
Heelys.
wish.
They're still a thing.
I see people
on Heelys now. I think they've come back.
I think well, they're retro now. But I think for Edinburgh Fringe for one day, Eric, can we all come up there and Heely around
And
Edinburgh?
wear Heelys.
but
there's so many cobbles.
That's like starting Healy school and then just going is it the red course or the black course on a ski slope. You decide to go up to Edinburgh where it's only cobbles, at Fringe where there's only people.
And then also Edinburgh where it's only hills. Only hills and cobbles and Americans.
Yeah, I mean, they'd be very appreciative of you healing around them across the cobbles, through the crowds, over the hills.
The only fancy shoes I've ever owned were flashy trainers. And surely we all owned a pair of flashy trainers.
I'm pretty sure I had some flashy trainers at one point.
I feel like I've had dreams about flashy trainers as a young boy, as a young lad, but I don't know if I was ever graced with them.
I think I wore them out almost immediately because I, without wearing them, would just sort of bang them together just to get the lights to go. I'd just sort of clap with them.
Just sit there in your bed at night under the sheets.
Well, he had a Victorian upbringing, didn't he? So it was the only light source he could. He'd clap his shoes and as he was trying to read the latest Dickens under the red disco lights because there was no electricity. There were tiny shoe batteries, but not electricity. Madly flapping under there like a seal.
Just the occasional just click. Like it sounds like two half coconuts hitting together under his bed just to keep his lights going.
Well, back then they didn't even have the batteries in them. They were actually just candles with shutters. So every time you made a step, the shutter revealed the candle.
the original Healy, the original flashy shoes.
Yeah, they weren't like lighthouses.
And then occasionally he'd hear like a creak outside the door, and he'd be like, "Eric, you shall be sent to the Crimea," because they can see like the light flash going through the keyhole.
Sent to the Crimea.
Yeah, that was my impression of clearly Eric's dad.
My dad was Terry Jones.
Yeah, his signature reedy voice.
And also that was what he always threatened me with, was the Crimean War.
The Crimea, just always. It was the only thing that was going on back then, wasn't it? Queen Victoria and the Crimea. It was fucking boring.
Wow, that's quite the threat for a young child to be hit with.
That's why he's so accomplished now. He just grew up on fear, and now look at him. The man's steady as a rock.
Exactly. See what fear in the Crimea will do to you.
Terrified of Eastern Europe.
You could be like Eric Cabbage, terrified of Eastern Europe.
Although to be fair, that doesn't bode well for the journey coming.
I was going to say, you're going to Bulgaria, right?
Straight to the. I mean, that's very Eastern European, is Bulgaria, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's one of the big ones.
It's the big Eastern Europe.
Well, it's not that big actually, but it's one of the ones that you'd think of, isn't it?
It's one of the East ones.
It's one of the Easty ones. Yeah,
it's one of the East ones.
Emily's going to be so angry with me for this. But where is Bulgaria?
It's on the
just past China. There's a blue bit on the map. That whole thing, that's Bulgaria.
Wow,
and they don't tell anyone, which is mad. But you can tell why Eric's so terrified of going there because it's a hassle to get around.
I can imagine. That blue bit I've heard is pretty difficult.
I'm not a fan of the blue bit.
Hope you bring in your own kayak.
But then there's a tiny bit in the old Eastern Bloc, which is the sea. and that's where Eric works.
I didn't know Edinburgh was now in the Eastern Bloc of Europe.
Well, I don't live where I work. Jesus Christ, I'm not going to live there.
Oh, no, you don't, do you? You definitely don't live where you work.
Don't shit where you eat, don't live where you work. I'm just high on life and muesli and sadness.
Lucky bastard.
Oh God, kill me, please. Oh, sir, I'm already out.
I'm pretty much done with that first one as well.
Yeah, well, that was a quad of 48%.
Eh?
Sorry. Oh no!
What did you just drink?
Are you being honest?
Yeah, it was a quad of 48%.
What is a quad?
A quad, four.
I think
shots.
it means four singles.
You had 4 singles. You had 4. Jesus! You just.
What do you mean, Jesus?
You had 100 mil.
You just had 4 shots of essentially 50% ethanol.
Technically, that's 2 shots of 100.
You've 2 shots of ethanol is what you've had.
Just about. Well, nearly about 98%.
Did you mix it with anything? What is it? What is it that you're drinking?
Lots of tonic. It's a very delicious gin.
Lots of tonic, I see. Right.
Yeah, that entire glass wasn't just filled with ethanol.
Right.
Well, do you want to go get a top up for the next one before we start the next segment, or do you want to just go?
No, just go. I feel like drinking more is just going to make me useless in about half an hour. So let's just ride this buzz.
Break.
Okay. Right. So, if you don't remember how it works, here it is. I'm going to give you guys a topic. It'll be very loosely based, and basically you're going to either write a letter, a speech, or just any kind of long form writing prose, taking one word each, and we see where it ends up. And if it goes really well, we might do another one. Yeah, I know.
I feel like
isn't everything wonderful?
We peaked too soon on the first one.
Possibly. But anyway, you are now a disgraced member of Parliament speaking to the House after he was found smuggling badges.
Ooh.
Yes. That's all you're getting. And fire away, chaps. Fire away.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me 1 moment to get into character. Disgruntled member of parliament.
So have we had a
Smuggling
question
badges.
put to us, or are we just have we just gone in and started talking to people?
So basically, everyone's settled down. You've got the Speaker of the House of Commons, as you currently would now, say, like, "Thank you, everybody. Settle down. Settle down."
Yeah.
Now, the Prime Minister, and then it goes to you.
Oh wow,
You're the PM now.
We're also the Prime Minister.
You're also the
Right.
Prime Minister.
wow, the Prime Minister's been done for smuggling badges.
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Wow.
is this what is this what this session is going to be about then? Because I feel like if I've been done for smuggling badges, I'm not going to bring it up right off the bat.
Let's say it's not what it's about, but
Okay.
you're kind of proud of it, and you almost want to
Okay.
bring it up.
Okay.
But you also know you shouldn't. I'm
Right,
giving you
okay.
far too much direction here. Will you
I
just
know.
take it away?
I enjoyed
Just
this.
ask me
I like
questions.
the amount of direction. Really, it really builds
well-
the scene.
I like the backstory you're building for us.
Okay. You get 3 more questions, or you can just go for it.
I just go for it. Go on, Eric. You
We can
start.
we can go from this, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, Mr.
Speaker.
The
House
sees
that
this
is real,
problem.
but
Nevertheless, is that one word?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
I
Fucking
love
every
badger.
full stop.
My
Trousers
are
tighter.
than
One
single. Say the word.
Say it.
Say the word.
You know you want to say it.
I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think it's still ever going to get published, but it's fun for us.
I don't know what you want me to say.
My
Tighter than a
trousers,
single what?
my trousers are tighter than a single. They're tighter than a single what?
Trouser?
You failed me, sir.
I don't know.
I was just expecting the word badger.
That's what I was expecting. Badger.
That doesn't make sense. That makes as much sense as trouser.
And please continue. I'd say we're about halfway there.
My trousers are tighter than a single trouser. However,
The
meeting
before
was
most,
enjoyable.
but
Now
I
have
TB.
and
That's
the
main
reason
Mr.
speaker
Can't
smuggle
badges
like
me.
full stop.
Incredible. That was
That was a disgrace.
genuinely hilarious. I think maybe just for us.
It's not going to be funny for anyone else.
That's. Do you want to try one more with possibly the 3 of us to add to make it either possibly much
Oh
worse?
my, let's give it a go.
Okay.
The old three-way.
It's
Will,
not like
come
it takes us long to try it.
Yeah, no. So, Will, can you come up with a situation, just any kind of situation?
A situation.
Just think of something that you did today, and then we'll go from there.
Thanks. A BBC representative make an apology for what they said on the news, but getting angry halfway through and walking off.
That's something that you did earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go Eric, Will, me, and
Okay.
Good.
Afternoon. Turns out afternoon's one word.
people
Of
The
United.
Arab.
Emirates.
I
Am
A.
ginormous.
sorry.
For.
What?
I don't know. Sorry, what?
I am a ginormous sorry for.
A ginormous sorry for.
That's what he said.
And are you saying what?
I'm a ginormous. I'm a
I am-
ginormous. Sorry for
I
what I
am
said.
ginormous sorry for what? For what I say? What did I say I am sorry for? I am sorry for what?
Okay, let's scrap this one and start again.
Different scenario.
Okay.
Different scenario, and Will, don't just pick random words.
How did I fail this?
I'm a ginormous sorry for.
You're saying that ginormous sorry wasn't a weird phrase.
I mean, to be fair.
You mean ginormous sorry for? I am sorry for. We are sorry for.
Cool, right, emergency announcement on a train. Eric, start.
Attention.
Passengers.
There.
Isn't
Any.
More.
crisps.
Please.
Do.
Not
Throw.
Your.
stewards.
Between.
My.
Carriages.
They.
Are.
People.
But.
They.
Aren't
Human.
They.
also
Are.
Extremely.
tired.
Of.
Your.
Tossings.
Quite. Oh, sorry, full stop. New sentence.
If.
Someone.
Could.
Clean.
The.
Stewards.
Because.
They.
Are.
Getting.
Filthy.
Full stop.
When.
Crisps.
Get.
Eaten.
Some.
Stewards.
Devour.
Passengers.
Hence.
The.
Barriers.
To.
Stop.
Passengers.
From.
Sweating.
Upon.
The.
Stewards.
Thus.
Please.
Stop.
Sweating.
And.
Start.
Tossing.
Your.
Stewards.
Full stop.
I think that works. There we go. We tried it both ways.
I was really hoping for a "This has been your captain speaking." So I was really hoping for like a circle background to when we eat crisps, the stewards get filthy. So hence why we no longer have crisps on board. This has been your captain speaking, sort of thing. But you went a very different route to where I thought we were going to go. Well, I feel like this gives us a nice look into our own brains and where we all think we're going to be going with this. And if nothing else, it's been a very good exercise.
I
Yeah,
feel
so-
any more of that would be beyond Will now, with all of that ethanol in him.
That's true. I kept on looking at him and realising that he doesn't feel the way I feel right now. He's almost 3 sheets to the wind.
He has surpassed.
He's ascended. He's gone beyond.
I'm now in that blissful state, the really nice blissful state. You know, where just everything's good. You've got a warm feeling. Everything's happy.
Everything's going to be all right. The sort of feeling where you wish you could just keep this level forever and just let yourself be alcoholic.
What's everyone's favourite structure?
Tunnels?
That's not going to be funny for anyone else.
Did you just find that on the stairs or something?
Okay. So I do have a segment, and this week's segment has a name. This week's segment is David. What you on about?
David.
Or Daffyd. What are you on about now?
Where was that second person from?
I didn't realise Daffyd
second
lived in Poland.
The second person wasn't Welsh. Only Daffyd was Welsh. The second person was from somewhere else.
They were talking to a Welsh David.
Yeah, and he was very cold and a bit confused.
Cold, camp, and confused. My new
Recently
Netflix special.
concussed.
Cold, camp, confused, and recently concussed. The new dating program on Netflix.
Finally, my chance.
I had to include that because I'm pretty sure one of the Davids I included is actually a Daffyd. Actually, no, never mind. Forget that.
Okay,
Forget that one. It's just Daves and Davids.
it's simply forgotten.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you something that some David somewhere has said, and then you're going to have to try and tell me which David and what they meant by that.
Oh, Christ.
Excellent. Do we get an option? Is there like an ABC sort of choice?
No, you just have to.
Think of my famous Daves.
You're gonna have to do a little bit of your own work.
Oh,
Okay,
what's
you can't
this?
just. I'm not going to do all of it for you. I'm not. I've got a correct interpretation, and if you get that, you get the point. I'm not
Okay.
going to give you two other
What do we-
ones,
what do
and
we
that you
win?
get to pick, and then all that you're contributing at that point is your decision, and you're giving nothing back to me.
What do we win? Because as Will brought up once, to his chagrin, no, to your chagrin, I believe, because it's your ear whose finger, whose ear, who's the finger.
It's
in
my
the
ear that's going to get fingered. Yes.
You heard.
Still hasn't happened.
No, I've not seen him.
Yes, you had.
Not
Right?
not since
No,
then.
no, we've
Since-
not seen
no.
each other.
Come mid-July.
All bets
Anyway,
are
sorry.
on.
What were we playing for?
Love, affection,
okay.
a tiny miniature
Don't want
piano made of teeth.
Now that's what I'm talking about. But that's our merch. We can't do that.
I think it's going to be a passing on of the ear fingering.
Mm?
If Finn loses, I don't get ear fingered.
What? This doesn't seem fair at all.
So if Will wins, Will fingers Finn's ear. If Finn wins, he fingers both of our ears.
How do you feel about that, Finn? Technically, he's playing with his prize or his lack of prize.
Yeah, I don't like that. You're gonna get a finger in your ear anyway, mate.
You lost. I'm sorry, Harry.
All right, it's just to finger each other's ears then.
Okay. Whoever wins gets to finger the other one's ear.
My ear gets fingered regardless, but you two get to figure out whose ear you're going to finger.
All right, cool. Okay,
Excellent.
so by the end of today, I may have promised my finger to two people's ears.
Potentially.
Unbelievable.
I mean, we could both
Shakespeare couldn't have written it.
we could just agree now, Finn, that the winner doesn't finger the other person's ear. We finger Eric's ear.
That's
And I
but
like
it's
the
my
idea
game.
that you win and you just do both ears at the same time.
I've not heard the words "it's my game" since I was possibly 7.
It's my game, and I decide who
It's
wins.
my game. You can't finger my ear. Not in the playground.
I decide who gets to choose who gets to be fingered, but not me.
Let's agree to his terms now, Will, and any underhand dealing.
When it's your game, you can pick whose ears get fingered.
that's true,
It's
yeah.
my game today.
Right, let's do this.
Oh.
Let's talk about famous Rogers and what their interpretation of David was.
Right. We don't need no education.
We don't need no thought control.
And
It's the lyrics.
that is the next line.
There's no dark sarcasm in the classroom.
Yeah, it's Pink Floyd, right? I don't know who the lead singer is. He's David something, I imagine.
Well, I'm not sure you'd really say there was a lead singer. There was more than one vocalist.
I mean, if it's a
it
David,
was the one called David. I'll
If
tell you
it's a
that
David,
much.
I'm assuming it is Gilmore.
It was David Gilmour that wrote that line. And what did he mean by that?
He was telling everyone that the schools had not become places of education, but places of misery and oppression by those in power, and their ability to skew children's lives through their command of the education system.
That is a very good answer, and that is the answer that I got from the album listening to it. That's what I thought they were on about there.
It's about drugs, isn't it? For fuck's sake.
No,
Oh.
I I was reading the interview with Roger Waters, who didn't write it, but obviously, part of the process. And he said the double negative is important, and obviously people need education.
We don't need no education.
Essentially,
That's marvelous.
we need education.
Okay,
That was
would
Roger,
be.
but that was Roger Waters' interpretation of it. So I don't know if he's just a bit of an idiot.
He's probably just going back on something, wasn't he?
Maybe he was
yeah.
backpedaling from something he'd said
it's
previously
probably-
in the
yeah.
interview.
Plus, we need education isn't a cool rock song. That's something Rosie and Jim would say.
We need education.
I don't fuck with Rosie and Jim.
Maybe it's we need education, but we don't need thought control. Maybe it's
A bit of it can't be that bad.
just a bit of thought control.
I got a bit of thought control.
Oh, fair enough. Anyways, the next David, please.
Right, the next David. 30 years of hurt never stopped me dreaming.
I don't know, is this Cameron?
Badil.
Correct, David Baddiel. Very good.
Who's David Baddiel?
That was
David
how dare
Baddiel's a
you.
comedian that
He is.
also wrote a song
Yeah.
that is.
He wrote 3 lines.
He wrote 3 lines. Yeah,
yeah.
the football's coming home thing.
And that's what my answer was. I'm not that into football. I'm assuming it was about the World Cup 1990 something.
My interpretation of it is it's been 30 years since England won the World Cup, and I've been in emotional turmoil ever since. That's what
I'm
he
supposed to
meant
read.
by that.
I'm supposed to read into it more.
But that's fair enough. That was a football one. You can be forgiven for not really caring.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.
But well done for getting David Baddiel.
Thank you. 2 up. Now's my time to lose.
Yeah.
I feel my ears are going to get probed. I'm not a fan of this.
When I first read it, I thought it was a really, really long poem about everything.
Dave.
I feel like you almost had it there.
Shockingly, I was going to say David.
Cameron about the Tory manifesto when he first read it before becoming Prime Minister. That's what I really truly believe that is.
Essex.
A long poem about everything.
David Essex about the full 4-hour take of "'Twas Only a Winter's Tale."
No. It wasn't. 'Twas neither.
Was it Bowie about reading something? A song?
I'm giving you that. It was David Bowie.
Motherfucker.
I need the points,
but-
damn it.
Yeah,
But can you tell me what he was referring to?
Gonna be first reading a song that he wrote when he was high or some bullshit. And he was looking back at it going, feels like it's a poem about everything.
going over his own lyrics and being like, it's a really, really long poem about everything.
I mean, it's the difference between him in one state and him in another, really.
I suppose.
Anyways, what was it actually about?
He was referring to reading the Oxford English Dictionary. So, the most boring person on that particular vision quest, essentially.
Wow.
Yeah.
As like a novel. All I've got left in the toilet is the Oxford English Dictionary, and I've read the back of the fucking flash box.
I'm just imagining him in a sort of psychedelic den with a bunch of people having a great time, but he's just sort of huddled in the corner with a dictionary just latched into it. This is so intense.
Aardvark, avocado, acrobat. It's like a poem about
Because he's not reading them in order either, then.
No,
He's just darting around. It's a really, really long poem about everything, and you can pick which way you read it. You could just flick at random.
Exactly.
It's the future of poetry, surely.
Yeah. Okay, the next David. We are the only species on Earth capable of preventing our own flowering.
Attenborough?
No. Who?
David Attenborough.
Oh,
What do you mean?
Attenborough.
What the fuck do you mean,
I didn't
who?
hear you.
Sir David Attenborough.
I didn't hear you.
He buggers chimps on TV.
What? When did that happen?
He doesn't. That's
doesn't.
just that's an extreme slander on my part.
I didn't believe
do
that
that.
for a second there. Jeez.
If he did, it was never on TV.
That's true. That's true. I want to hear the chimp story.
I mean, I'd say if anyone has, it's not been on TV, because it would have been if they had.
It was the 80s. Savile got away with murder.
I feel like there's a Me Too pun, but based on chimps, and I'm really struggling for it. Me ooh ah.
Macaque 2?
Macaque too. Excellent. I have no idea. The only species that can prevent their own flowering.
Okay, I didn't particularly expect you to get this one. I was just irritated by it. It was a poet called David White, and my impression of that is that he meant cheer up and eat your fucking scones.
Oh yeah, go to
Basically.
Cornwall, man.
It's a
Get
bit
your
of
fucking
a
scones.
yeah.
What?
It's
Okay.
just it's like all of his quotes were basically the same. You know, the sort of the meaningless Instagram quote with a scenic background sort of thing that singers post.
I've never heard of David White.
Don't even have Instagram.
No, neither did I.
No.
Neither did I until that point. Okay, the
Oh,
next
yeah.
David. Okay, this is another one that just sort of made me a bit angry. Actually, I tell you what is I thought of this thing for a segment, and I thought I was going to do lyrics for the full thing because I was like, oh yeah, there's David Bowie, there's David Gilmour, there's David Baddiel, there's loads of David songwriters that I know and could easily find quotes for. Those are the three.
That's it. Yeah.
So after that point, I just went on like a quotation website and looked at D for David, and then picked almost at random for whoever had something that sparked some sort of emotion in me, which was usually anger. Right. Never be afraid to try something new. Remember that a lone amateur built the Ark. A large group of professionals built the Titanic.
Oh, it's some Christian guy. Some God-fearing, God-forsaken,
Some
bleeding...
God-botherer.
Saint
Fool.
David.
Saint David.
Saint David.
It
Oh,
once
God.
sent Daffyd, no.
No. Okay.
I don't feel like he was around for the Titanic, if I'm perfectly honest.
He watches over us all. Sorry. I only deal with real things like Thatchers and Jesus.
I don't know, David Williams.
David Williams isn't a god botherer, is he?
I don't know, he could be. He definitely bothers God in some way.
I bet he relishes that, though.
Is it David Cameron this time?
It's not David Cameron. That would be horrendous. Is he religious?
Probably.
David Cameron? Is he?
It depends.
In
It
some
depends on what chat show you ask him on.
That sounds a bit much for someone that's C of E. That's
right. Yeah, okay.
like even C of E are like settled down.
All right
with
then.
that sort
It was
of thing.
fucking Catholic David from down the road. Who was it?
It was Catholic David. Yes,
Okay.
Everyone's favourite Catholic
was-
David.
an author called Dave Barry. And what he meant by that essentially is don't trust the experts, trust in the fictitious doomsayers advocating incest.
And it turns out that was it. That was what he meant.
That is what he meant. Yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
Thank you, Eric, for this
I mean, what else could
deep
it have
insight
meant?
into the world of David.
I'm not arguing. I'm
No,
not
I'm
arguing with that.
100% agreeing. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
only thing I can get from that, really. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and obviously I agree with it as well. I think
Yeah,
that's,
100%.
completely-
I mean,
completely right. Yeah.
where have experts got us, really?
Exactly. Why trust the experts when you can
I
fucking
know.
lick doorknobs and die?
Or your sister, like, that's what that's saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right, this next
next.
Dave is actually someone you might have heard of. It's not just some random Dave. I did pick this one because it was a Dave that I knew,
A Dave that you knew.
not personally,
Oh, emotionally.
but he was present in my childhood.
It's not going to be Tennant, is it?
No, I wouldn't introduce him as Dave.
Stop
better.
pre-Daviding you.
No. Okay,
Excuse me.
this Dave said, "Money talks, chocolate sings."
I don't know this many Davids, Eric.
I'm running.
I mean, that's fair enough. I knew 3, and then I had to revert to the internet.
I'm running out of Davids in my head.
I'm already done. Chocolate.
I mean, I also didn't know that this person's first name was David.
What?
Oh.
He goes,
David-
you'll
Oh,
know
so-
him by his last name.
David Robbie Williams.
No.
David
Okay.
Robbie Williams.
David Margaret Thatcher.
Oh, fuck. David.
Would you like a clue?
Dave
No.
Matthews.
It's not Dave Matthews.
David Lee.
No.
No, I'll like a clue, please.
Okay, he's a wrestler.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah.
Dave the Stone Johnson.
No.
Is it? It's not like the Big Show or something, is it?
It's not, no. His last name is his wrestling
Bautista.
name, more or
Dave
less.
Bautista.
It is.
Oh my god,
Well
what?
done.
He's called Dave Batista.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
And all I got from that is he presumably quite likes chocolate. I'm not sure if there was any more to it, to be honest.
To be fair to him, why not?
I mean, yeah, like
He does enough press-ups for the chocolate, doesn't he? He's
I'm
not sat at home.
I find that absolutely fine in comparison to the last 2 or 3. That was I had no problems with that. I thought that was just quite nice. He obviously just enjoys his chocolate.
I feel like the reason you chose him is
Nothing
because you
wrong
didn't
with
realise, because none of us knew that Batista's first name was Dave.
Yeah, it's partly that.
I
A lot less terrifying when you know he's called Dave.
Speaking of chocolate, as an aside, I left half a packet of Lindt Smooth and Creamy on the sofa today, and the sun passes by my big old window in the living room, and the sun did shine on it all day. And when I came back, it was in like little square puddles, and I peeled it off and licked it, and it was fucking incredible.
You licked it off the settee?
Just off the foil.
Oh.
I wouldn't lick that settee.
Did you have to separate the squares on the foil by folding it, or did you just have it flat in your palm and lick away like a cat?
Basically, what I could do is I could have it flat in my palm, and then like if I just kind of like poked one, it would break away from the rest, so there's like some solidity there.
Okay.
But then I could just kind of like slurp it up like a big old chocky oyster.
A big old chocky oyster.
Big old chocky oyster.
And did you sing afterwards?
Yep. I went, ooh, chocky oyster.
And that's what Dave Batista meant.
Yes.
I didn't want to. It just came out.
Well, that's obviously what he meant, is that he's found this perfect temperature of chocolate like you have,
Yeah.
and that's what it brings forth.
It's just joy and
If you
song.
slurp down that chocky oyster, that's what comes out of you.
What can you do but sing?
The chocky oyster goes in, the song comes out.
Absolutely.
Very
Another
good.
David.
Was that the
Another
last
David.
David? Are we still Davided?
You've got 4 more Davids.
Oh my god, let's rapid fire them.
Okay. I once heard someone say that success is not hocus pocus, but focus focus.
David Blaine.
David Brown?
Neither. You won't get this, to be honest, because it's bullshit and he definitely never said this. But
Okay.
apparently, that was King David of Israel in,
Yeah, I know.
in 970 BC.
Yeah,
yeah.
no one recorded that.
The
There
fuck did he make that sort of wordplay in English?
Where was your source for this one? Sorry, what?
of the Bible.
Who's
Just-
claiming
The internet.
the big D said that? The biggest of D's, possibly.
It's very big D. It's the internet said that,
Right.
Excellent. Well, that one was
and
bullshit.
I included that because that's absolute nonsense. There's no
It's
way.
Just.
That's just wrong. Obviously.
Oh well, I'm glad we cleared that one up.
Yeah.
Third David, third and final.
Wow, how to
Okay.
tell if when Will's getting bored?
I would say there were 4. There are actually. Oh no, there are. Yeah, there were 4.
I'm done.
Anyway,
I'm done with the Davids.
it's not easy when someone pulls your ponytail.
You don't know,
You do know a David with a ponytail.
do we?
This isn't some random gutter David that I found in the quotations website. This is a real David.
A
that
real
people know
David.
about. It's a real David that you will both have absolutely heard of. It's impossible to have not heard of him.
He has a ponytail.
And he has a ponytail.
What circles does he run in?
Ovals.
Large ones.
Okay.
Large. He has quite a lot of breathing room for his circle running, which is a clue if you know who I'm talking about. But if you don't, it's just weird and misleading.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Yeah.
Nice. This is going to be
I'll
some
take the
sort of
second.
in British comedy thing that you listen to with Finn.
It's nothing to do with British comedy.
No,
This is just everyone in the UK knows the name.
everyone in the UK knows
Everyone in
this
the
name.
UK will know this name.
Is it David Seaman, the old English the old English goalie keeper?
David Siemens, yeah, David
The old
Siemens
English
with,
English.
with the ponytail, yeah.
The oldie English David Seaman's ponytail. English
100%,
keeper.
yeah, 100% on board. David
It's
with a
not
ponytail.
him, and I didn't know his name. But you're in the right area.
What do you mean we're in the right area? David
Beckham?
with a ponytail.
Beckham.
Beckham?
It was
He's
Beckham.
got a ponytail.
Yeah. Well, he did for a
Beckham?
while.
Probably the last time Eric saw him.
17
ponytail.
years ago.
He did.
He
did
was
have a
living
ponytail.
in-
I mean,
he
he's
was
not
living in
that.
the Midlands.
He's not that good at. When he was good at football, he had a ponytail.
Did he?
Yeah.
When
When did when was the last time he had a ponytail?
did
17 years ago.
David Beckham have a brother? When did he have a brother?
When did he have a brother?
Either the brother was very young or something terrible happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh god. Sorry, I've got to go on a website that states David Beckham 1989 to 2021 hairstyles through the ages.
Wow. That's a website someone's made.
Yep. There's just pictures of him throughout his footballing career.
Is it at least just a very quick scroll through, or have they got captions and describing his hair throughout?
Captions and describe, like for instance, in this one where it's clear it was dyed blonde, it says he had it dyed blonde. Okay, we're in the noughties now, so you're not doing too bad at the moment. To be fair, I feel like
With
we
the
were
ponytail.
too harsh. Yeah. He had cornrows at one
Oh,
point.
Jesus.
Odd. 2004.
He had a ponytail.
So yes,
2004 ponytail.
17 years ago.
So far, that's been the only ponytail.
Was that it? I thought it
Possibly.
was for longer.
He's had curtains about 5 times, which we can only really respect.
Also, what was the running in circles about?
Well, he's got a big area, hasn't he?
Had a lot
To
of
run
running.
around in.
What? How is that? Okay, whatever. I'm done. I'm done with David Beckham.
Yeah, me too. And now the cookies are going to know that I like Beckham and hair.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
they're
Yeah,
going to be after you now.
they are. I know.
All right. Besides prostitution, magic is one of the oldest art forms that exists.
David Blaine.
David Blaine.
That was David Blaine, unashamedly trying to elevate magic to the same level as prostitution.
Absolutely. It'll never work. I'd never fuck a magician.
If no one believed in the impossible, there would be nothing to dream about.
Please tell me that's David Cameron. Please tell me that's David Cameron.
It's not David Cameron.
Oh,
I'll be honest, I can't actually tell you which David did this because it made me so angry that I just noted down some other twat called David, the meaning behind I've been incredibly fortunate and it's all due to my sunny disposition, not at all a privileged upbringing and dumb luck.
wow.
Oh, you tell him, man. You tell him.
I didn't like that, David.
Tell them. Nah.
No, Jesus, that was
Tell
it.
these
You were
bastards.
bitter about that, David.
I was bitter about that, David.
He was.
I mean, the quote itself makes no sense. It's
No.
bullshit. And if you believe in the impossible, if you believe in something that you know is impossible, you're a fucking idiot.
That's true.
If you know it, if you can think it's impossible, you can think it's possible and believe it. That's fine. You can think something that I think's impossible is possible, and I'll think you're an idiot. But if you think something's impossible and you believe it anyway, you are an idiot.
Or you're really successful.
Yeah. Well,
As
both.
David, privileged upbringing said.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a nice way to round out the Davids.
I didn't count the points, but I think Finn won that.
Yeah,
Man.
I'll agree.
Yeah, man, you've got a finger going in your ear, son.
He said to Eric.
He got Gilmore, he got Baddiel, he got Bowie, and
No,
Batista.
I didn't get Bowie.
You didn't get Bowie. Will got Bowie.
Will got
Okay.
Bowie. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
we
got
both got Blaine.
But you got Gilmore, Baddiel, and Batista.
Yeah.
Oh, you did get Batista as well.
Yeah.
It's all downhill for me.
And Seaman.
Well, that wasn't one.
No, but I got it.
You got
You,
Siemens.
you got a whole bunch of
very
other
glad for
Davids
you.
as well, but I'm not counting them.
Fair enough. That's fine.
I'm very disappointed
No
there
need
wasn't a
to-
Cameron in there somewhere.
No need to hurt my feelings as well, but fair enough.
Well, I've got nothing to lose at this point. I'm already getting a finger in the ear anyway.
That's true. I'm just not looking forward to the fact that if I do follow through on this, I'm going to get beaten up by both of you in different areas at different times. Unless I do a double whammy, in which case I just have to run immediately after.
I don't look forward to this at all, and I want you to know that.
Me neither.
I feel like you might actually do it as well as a surprise.
Yeah, I was more confident with Eric not doing it than I am with you. I feel like I'm going to wake up one night in a hostel somewhere with a finger in my ear and a tear down my cheek.
Just a severed finger. Next time you see me, I'm just like waving like this.
I'll be in you forever.
That's far worse. If you
just
finger
gorilla
our
glued
ears
it in
with
there.
your severed fingers, that's
Commitment to the craft, right?
Wow, terrifying. Thank you for that nightmare that I'll have this evening.
No worries. You have it this evening, and then when it actually happens.
yeah. And then every day henceforth.
Indeed.
If they had decent walls that could keep out an above average jogger, then maybe they wouldn't need so many guns.
Smooth and creamy.
Best of luck to Joe Lycett in all of his endeavours.
He watches over us all.
I am a little Spanish flea.
That really wasn't worth it for the bit, was it?
Do you want to talk about the Trident's turd?
What's the Trident's turd?
Go on.
Now, I don't know if you've heard about this, but I've now heard from several different sources, which has now made it real for me. I've heard
Okay.
from several different independent people.
Reputable people.
No, but
Oh.
but 3 different people. There are independent sources.
Okay.
So there's got to be
Independent, unreputable.
so there's got to be a grain of truth in this, isn't there?
Okay.
But
Carry
agree.
on. What's the tale of the...
And the tale is so odd that it's not the sort of thing that multiple people would make up in absence of each other. This is only one person
Okay.
could come up with this. It's mad.
Okay. Well, you've tickled my fancy and wetted my whistle, so hit me
Right.
with the Trident turd.
Have you heard of the Trident submarines?
Yes.
Of
Yes.
the Royal Navy, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard that when they were first launched or birthed, whatever the
Okay.
name is?
Yeah, it's true. They had these large. No, I'm not. No, I shall not. I shall simply stop there. Go on.
When they get first excreted by the docks,
Still way more PC than where I was going.
yeah. The Queen visits them and does the I don't know, pulls a lever or something.
Bottle smash.
Bottle
Okay.
smash, yeah. Does that? Although I don't know if. Oh no, you just let go of it these days, don't you?
And
And
swings,
it swings and does it, so she doesn't actually have to fucking lob it.
Mm-hmm.
Not like the good old days.
Fucking bottle lobbing monarchs everywhere. Couldn't move for him.
Right. Okay. So the Queen.
So the
is
Queen
thrown
so the Queen was visiting, and in preparation for the Queen's visit, the crew of the submarine, or if the would-be crew to the submarine, but I guess they're already on board, they're already doing stuff, they're already learning the vessel, they get told the Queen's coming, and we need to have a special toilet for the Queen on board in case she needs the toilet while she's here looking around. And this needs to be her own toilet, because that's the whole thing when the royals go where they have to have their own toilet seat and all sorts of bollocks. So
Okay.
basically they have to prepare this space where there's a toilet with their own special toilet seat.
Oh my
and
God.
no one's allowed and no one uses it. And
Please tell me there was a turd in the toilet when the Queen went to go use it.
no.
Oh.
What? So the engineers of this submarine decided, what a great idea would it be if we rerouted the pipes and preserve whatever comes from that toilet.
Oh, it's so much weirder than what Will said.
They
Weird.
they
So
take
much
they
weirder.
take
It's
out
pretty gnarly.
they take out a section of pipe work and essentially have a little bypass to then she's the only one that's going to use it. They know no
Wait.
one else is allowed in there to use it. So whatever comes
Forevermore.
Oh no! Once she's gone, they can get rid of all the queenification that they've done and have it as a normal toilet again. Not every Trident submarine has a toilet in it that only the Queen can ever use.
Okay.
'Cause-
That did seem a little bit obscene.
Yeah, that
Or
would
ridiculous.
be batshit insane. Although I wouldn't put it past the Royal Navy because this crazy shit.
Why not?
Why not? Space is
the
incredibly
engineers-
tight. Everyone has to do hot bunks, but there's a special toilet just for the Queen, just in case. That's the sort of
Yeah.
thing the Royal Navy might do.
Hot bunks.
Huh?
Everyone, there's beds, but you don't have your
Hot
own
bunks.
bed.
You don't have your own bed.
Oh, like a hot desk for those
Yeah.
of us who are square. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
You wake up, someone else gets into your bunk because there aren't as many bunks as there are people.
Right, cool.
You're constantly on a rotation.
Yeah, and it's obviously hot because it's just nice and warm because someone else is.
It's always lovely and warm when you get in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these engineers, they rerouted the pipes so that whatever comes out that toilet, they get to save it. And they preserved it in formaldehyde.
Oh
And-
my God.
Essentially like lacquered it. And it now sits in the officer's mess on one of the Trident submarines.
There's a Queen's turd.
A Queen's turd on display.
Does she know of this?
I don't know if she's heard the stories, but I've heard the stories.
That there is a formaldehyde preserved Queen turd.
Yeah, in the officer's mess.
Someone had to do that. Someone had to collect that.
Well, it sounds like it was very much a group effort, and everyone was very much on board with it, if you'll pardon the pun.
Do you think someone, the medical officer perhaps, was actually tempted to have a look at the Queen's turd and reveal if she had any piles?
Oh.
Because I'm assuming you can do that. If it was a good old Mr. Whippy, and it wasn't just she didn't just fucking spurt it like a cat, like an ill cat.
I'm more
Well, she
impressed
didn't
that the
'cause
Queen
it's
had a
preserved.
shit on this submarine.
She's
Why?
got a lot of fibre in her diet.
I'm curious as to the integrity of it, because ships work on vacuum systems, so that shit has been sucked at great speed through some pipes and probably jostled a great deal. How it actually
That's the pile theory out the window. Then you couldn't tell.
formed. Unless what they collected was basically a mush, and then they had to reshape it into a turd shape to then.
Sir.
You'd shape it into a little.
I mean,
little
how
poo
long
crown.
do you think the Queen stays on that ship for, though?
Just
Like,
long enough
is
to
she-
shit, apparently.
Just
is
yeah.
she-
I think
imagine
it's very
Why would
much.
she even go on board?
I think it's just to look around. It's her ship. It's her
So
submarine.
she goes on board. Is this like a part of the ceremony for every ship in the Royal Navy? Every ship in the Royal Navy must have a shit in it. All ships in the Royal Navy have to have had a shit by the Queen in them before they could leave port. The Queen must have marked her territory.
Have been christened.
They have to be christened first with a turd, second with a bottle of champagne, and finally they can get launched.
That's how my Friday nights generally go.
First the shit, then the champagne, and then the show.
The old SES.
Well, maybe this is the first time she's actually done the shit in the designated toilet, and this
So
is
just
actually.
curling one out on the gangplank.
But this has actually been going on for decades. Of engineers rerouting pipes to try and catch one of the Queen's turds, and this is just the first time she actually did it. But for
Incredible.
every time she's launched a ship, that they've been waiting, they've been wishing to catch a Queen's turd, but she never felt the desire. And then this one time, she was caught short. They caught the Queen's turd.
So they caught the white whale, but she's just very ill.
Terrible.
Probably shouldn't joke about that because she's not got long left, has she?
A
And
solemn
then Captain
note to
Puffy
end on.
Hands will take over for about a month, and he'll die, and then it'll be old William for a while.
They'll have many opportunities to catch his turds, I'm sure.
Really shouldn't
Oh,
go
yeah.
in.
He probably would
Well.
take a shit on a submarine.
Who? Charles.
Will.
Oh.
Willwood.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the pound coin when Charles takes over because it's just going to be 90% ear.
What is this, a newspaper cartoon?
Sorry.
I'd not thought of that, but that's
gonna
true, to be fair.
There's going to be a lot of ear on that pound coin.
We're gonna have some ugly money.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but luckily it'll be worthless, so fine.
Yeah. It's alright. We'll have phased out the pound coin by then.
We're back on the old guinea. Finally, doubloons will be back in.
Oh, can't wait for it.
Two-minute job for 10% off.
Yeah, I think it's a mistake on the Abyss's part.
Really high stakes burrowing.
This was an ice pop.
I'm just talking shit again. Yeah.
I don't think I want any of that to go in. It's a bit much.
Have you written this? I feel
I'll
like
take
you
questions at the end.
I read the first sentence and was like, I think Eric's... What?
I want
alright.
all of us to read this in our own way because this is fucking incredible.
Wow. Okay.
But I mainly want Will to do it so I can, as I said, just sit here.
Sit back and
steamless.
drink Thatchers.
Yeah. A Geordie reads.
Right, well, I'm not prepared for this, but here we go. It's I need to get into the voice again. God, it's been so long since I've had to speak in Geordie. Into the ears. It's 3:33 in the Big Brother house. That's the way I get into the Geordie accent. Into the ears and behind the eyes of the chosen, the Lord wiggles his leathery tendrils. The chosen are such for their faith in the Lord and unerring fervour. Fuck. The chosen are such for their faith in the Lord and unerring fervour. Command me, Lord, be it self-sacrifice or murder, I shall follow thee. The Lord answered, bring me a heifer, 3 years old, and she-goat, 3 years old, a ram, 3 years old, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. Then he went up from the Bethrel, and as he was going up the road, some youths came from the city and mocked him, and said to him, go up, ye bald head. Go up, ye bald head. So he turned round and looked at them, and pronounced a curse on them in the name of the Lord. And 2 female bears came out the woods and mauled 42 of the youths. For the path of the righteous and the chosen men are defended by the Lord. Arriving in Bethrel, and in search of the young pigeon to complete the seat as the good Lord wished, the chosen was harunged. The chosen was harunged by a whore. You are too wretched to be saved in the eyes of the Lord. It would take a stoning to dislodge the devil residing in your depths. Yet she increased her prostitution, remembering the days of her youth, when she engaged in prostitution in the land of Egypt. She lusted after their genitals, as large as those donkeys, and their seminal immersion was as strong as a stallion. Fuck me, where did you get this from?
That's... Okay, I'll explain what that is now.
I stumbled through that.
That is 80% from the Bible.
80% from the Bible?
What I did was I took some of my favourite quotes from the Bible, and I gave them context, essentially. I just linked... I gave it narrative.
Okay. It did feel quite, it felt quite biblical.
Yeah.
But with the occasional, general yobbo thrown in.
The bits that were biblical are not the bits you'd expect. The bears...
The bits of... The bears?
The bears is very much the main thing. That was the Bible.
Okay. I feel like the prostitution is...
The genital talk, that was the Bible.
What, she lusted after their genitals as large as those of his donkeys, and his and their seminal immersion was as strong as that of a stallion.
Yep. The stoning thing was me. The seminal emission was the Bible.
Wow.
The Bible does produce a seminal emission sometimes.
I mean, it causes me to.
When
That's all
I
I'm
read
saying.
the scripture, sometimes I cannot but orgasm all over the place.
It's the Lord coming out of you. What can we say?
It's, yeah, for he is come.
And
Oh, he is come in body and in spirit.
The second, third, fourth, and fifth coming. Oh God.
Oh Christ! That's how we say that each time.
The dirting of Christ's boxes.
The clean.
and
Christ.
the animal to-do list, that was also verbatim.
Wow.
The Bible's fucking mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, my addition to those was didn't really add a lot, I'd say, to how mad it is.
Oh, we need to do these at the beginning when I can still read.
Oh,
I
no,
disagree. It's so much better if we just do it like this when you're basically a husk.
I'm just a husk of a man whose eyes can't stay in the same place for long enough to read. I look forward to bringing this up to the. There's a girl who's at my work, and she does like a religious studies thing with her church, and I look forward to bringing up the quote, that classed quote to her, just to, as a curiosity.
Just as what was the actual context to that, please?
Yeah.
I've been enlightened to some passage of the Bible, and I require explanation. Come to me, sir. Tell me.
Like, I'm
tell
sure
me what
it's
you
all
need
fair enough in
clarification
the
on.
right context, but let me know what the context was, because I can't think
She
how it
lust-
could have been okay.
She lusted after their genitals.
Why exactly was there so much emphasis put on this big old shaft? Please tell me.
Yeah. It sounds like they were having a little bit too much fun writing that bit, to be honest.
I imagine were the pages stained, do you think?
They were stuck together. That's how no one knew about it until now.
Some white wine vinegar, and it just comes apart like a dream.
All the best pages are found that way.
Yeah.
Into the ears and behind the eyes of the chosen, the Lord wiggles his leathery tendrils. The chosen are such for their faith in the Lord and unerring fervour. Command me, Lord, be it self-sacrifice or murder, I shall follow thee. The Lord answered, bring me a heifer, 3 years old, and she-goat, 3 years old, a ram, 3 years old, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. Then he went up from the Bethrel, and as he was going up the road, some youths came from the city and mocked him, and said to him, go up, ye bald head. Go up, ye bald head. So he turned round and looked at them, and pronounced a curse on them in the name of the Lord. And 2 female bears came out the woods and mauled 42 of the youths. For the path of the righteous and the chosen men are defended by the Lord. Arriving in Bethrel, and in search of the young pigeon to complete the seat as the good Lord wished, the chosen was harangued by a whore. You are too wretched to be saved in the eyes of the Lord. It would take a stoning to dislodge the devil residing in your depths. Yet she increased her prostitution, remembering the days of her youth, when she engaged in prostitution in the land of Egypt. She lusted after their genitals as large as those donkeys, and their seminal immersion was as strong as a stallion. Up, down, pass it around, and that's how you get syphilis.
Thanks for listening.